Okay, so before I get started here, this is going to be the weekly watch list. There's a lot to watch right now. Come over to ztrades.net, check out our terms and conditions page, read our terms and conditions, read our disclaimer. If you do not agree to it, do not watch this video. If you do agree with it, join the Discord. It's completely free right here. Let's go ahead and get started. I want to go over everything that I am watching here. We'll get to the crypto related stuff. First off, Amazon. It would look better if I was using TrendSpider, but since I'm going to be covering a lot of crypto related securities, I'm going to be using TOS for now. We got earnings coming up, and this looks hot. It looks on fire if we can get a pullback, which probably isn't going to happen. Look at this at the bottom of the channel. Ignore the top. You don't even need the top up here. We've got Apple and Amazon earnings. I'm already in Apple. I'm up a boatload on it. I've already taken some profits in IWM for rate cuts for the run up, which I'll be out before the second they announce interest rates. I'm gonna go ahead and cut. Amazon over here. Look at this. If I had just been scanning the higher time frames, when things slow down, let's say right after lunchtime, you don't really need to be watching the market as intensely as open. That's when you do your long-term swings and you see where everything's at. Look at this trend right here. Right there, right here, right here, right here, right here. Look at us hugging this. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 areas to enter right here. Would have been perfect. I need to edit my wedge script so this isn't getting in the way. Excuse me while I do this real quick. We'll just do it the easy way. Oh, this is going to take too long. Never mind. I'm not going to spend time doing all 9 of them while taking up everybody's time while we're on the video. Earnings right around Halloween on this. Hershey's, right, on Amazon and Apple. Let's take a look at Apple. We're already ripping on Apple. Now, I had been in this. I had been calling this. I don't know where I got in. I think I got in somewhere over in here. We had that massive explosion. It was actually, maybe it was right, yeah, it was right over in here. We had this massive explosion. I took a good chunk of it there. We dropped back up here on Friday. I took more. I'm out over half now, but that chart looks great with earnings coming up. And I got them for January. I didn't do any stupid weekly contracts like a noob, right? Why would I choose an expiration that's going to expire before all the hot stuff, before the earnings run up, before the election anticipation, before rate cut anticipation? Why would I do that? All right, let's take a look at the weekly on this. Weekly looks hot. I mean, look at it, and it's Christmas. I had nailed that bottom over there. Look at that beautiful reversal. Every time I see that, it warms my heart. Anyways, let's keep moving here. SMCI. I'm expecting SMCI at some point here to have a good recovery. That actually doesn't look good. I may have just ate my words there. Let's chart this out. Let's take a look at this a little bit closer here. I didn't have those touching properly. My OCD is going a bit nuts here. Let me, that's not going to fit properly. Whatever, doesn't matter. If we crack this, we could definitely head back down to this trend line, but I would like to see, that was some heavy selling there. Or that was a long candle, I should say. You want to really judge it based off the volume. If we can bounce up here, then I think that we're going to come back up. We can easily see the 100 EMA. This is the 50 EMA. This is the 100, and this is the 200 up here. I don't like that candle formation. It doesn't look good. And this body exceeded where that body was. I don't like it. It would have been one thing if it came down and jumped back up and the body closed higher than where this body had closed. I don't like that one bit. Let's take a look at the weekly. To be continued. To be continued. I'm going to be watching that this week. Watch for that. Make sure she does not break. If this thing's going to turn around, we want to see this turn bullish and exceed this body right here. We want to see it go past 48.08. I really want to see it go past there and close above there. I don't want it to close way above there because then you've already missed it. I'm already in some. I bought in this area. But if we can get this tighter to where, I'll go ahead and extend this for the future, to where this runs up, SMCI is running up, and this EMA, it gets pinned in between there, it could have a nice pop into this zone over here. We have a gap fill to still that has not been filled to 51.22. There's another gap if you look over here, 65. There's gaps all over the place. We could have that gap up there to 86. I don't think that may happen anytime soon. I definitely see this one in the future here, right there. Let's go ahead and highlight those gaps real quick. Let me get this going. That gap. What else do we got right up in here? And we got that gap up there. So I'm going to keep those on watch. So we'll see. And this gap that has not necessarily been filled yet. 1, 2, 3 gaps above. So we'll keep all that on watch. I'm going to move on to some crypto related. Tesla is the last equity I'm going to cover. That's non-crypto related. You want to go where the getting's hot. I don't want to be talking about equity, any blockchain equities, anything to do with Bitcoin, a year after the halving cycle. I want to be, unless it's downside, unless I'm trying to predict the downside. I don't like this. That's basically a flagpole here, and I don't like the candle formation. That candle formation right there is not good. At least resting on that EMA. I don't like that. Excuse me. Weekly, I like that. I like that a lot. Let me try to place my head somewhere where there's no EMAs and I'm not all wrapped up in all the rope of the EMAs and trend lines here. I'm going to have to change this wedge script because it's getting very annoying. It's mixing up with the EMAs. So we did have a 1, 2, 3. This candle did respect it, right? It respected this EMA, the 50. I do like that. And it would be nice. Overall, I think I see Tesla going higher and completely recovering into the end of the year. As long as Iran and Israel stuff doesn't pop off. We did have Zelensky declare war on North Korea. Big mistake. Big mistake. That's not good, and that's going to drag everybody else in it. So, but anyways, hopefully nothing pops off, and there maybe is a 6-month delay. That would be nice, so I could get out of everything, you know, around February, March, April of next year. But I may be dreaming, you know. I may be asking for too much there. I'd like to see Tesla come back, but that daily, I don't like that. The only thing I like is that we're holding the 100 there on the daily. So we'll see what happens. No clear as day TA. Let's go over to my favorite. I like going, before I get into Bitcoin and all that, let's take a look at gold. Look at gold hitting all-time highs on Friday. Gold hitting all-time highs after the cup and handle. I had yapped off like a parrot. Wait till QE, wait till QE, wait till QE. This thing's going to go nuts. It's going to go nuts. It's going to start running up prior in anticipation for it. Look at the cup and handle. Everything matches up. BRICS, the US dollar, inflation. We're in QT. Wait till they stop hiking. That's when it's going to start going nuts. And I was right. And everything worked out as planned. And I've been in it. Been in it since, I think, early 2022. May have been late 2020. It was early 2022. All through 2022 I bought. All through 2023 I bought. I even bought in 2024, but very light. So, and I'm not buying anymore, but this could go nuts. BRICS could cause gold to go absolutely parabolic. Silver, you know, it's funny, you crypto people, it's like you got the altcoins, which is silver, and you got Bitcoin, which is gold, right? So it's like silver's the altcoin, Bitcoin is the gold, you know? So the altcoins run up parabolic and come down, and then just like, you know, silver runs up parabolic where it had a violent squeeze here from freaking 8 to 48 bucks. Come on. Wild. So you more than 5x. That may have been 6x. 2 times. Yeah, I think that's right on a little over 6x. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Tell me. We just got my one of my new scripts I'm toying with here. Confirmed trend change. Just called it. I didn't see that till right now. So these are my levels I'm looking at on silver. 34. I'm also looking at 40. This could shadow that right there. I mean, it could absolutely shadow that. We can go look at futures. You all want to see something crazy? Let's go not to a dinky monthly chart. I just want to show you guys something here because I haven't heard anyone. We already have that. Let's do yearly. Each candlestick is a year of movement. Not a soul has talked about this. What is that? That is a cup and handle. I'm taking a screenshot for the chat here. I'm going to move this over here and minimize this. I'm going to leave this over here for the chat later on. That is a violent cup and handle. Look at that. Beautiful cup and handle. You know, it definitely failed the 50% part of the handle, but that's funny. The EMAs work because we got data going all the way back to basically 1969 over here when it was $1.45 an ounce and shot up to 50 when those two brothers cornered the silver market. You got to know stock market history and every movement of everything that happened. It helps you for the future a lot. And then we had quantitative easing, 9/11 to save us from the dot-com crash, then 9/11, then 08, and we just went into ridiculous QE, and it priced in basically a decade of leaving rates at zero, peeled off because it was too high, and then we went into QE during COVID, then QT, which caused us to drop. We're running in anticipation to QE, which we just started, so I don't know. Gold had a cup and handle. That's already played out. It's playing out right now. Bitcoin has a cup and handle I'm about to show you. Silver has a cup and handle on this ridiculous chart. I don't even know if you would claim that this is like something that you would follow. Each candlestick is an entire year of movement. A yearly, I'm talking about a max, not yearly as in a year time frame. I'm talking about candlesticks being 1 year. Who's done that? I haven't seen this anywhere. I haven't seen this anywhere. I was toying around. I don't know how I stumbled across this. If you guys want to look out long term on something, you look at futures. That's how you can really see far back. We can go back to like 1918 on the Dow. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. I like this stuff. I like stock market history. I may have lost a lot of viewers in my rambling right here. But keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. If this plays out, if we exceed and break that 50 level, like right there, when those two brothers cornered the silver market in 1980, watch this thing go. Watch this thing go to like freaking 80, 100 bucks. Anyways, let's move on. Let's go over to, let's look at the flag here. Open interest. Open interest. Get out of here. I want you all, so yeah, you guys are looking at the tippy top. You know, I always say look at the bottom. Not necessarily only the top. Look at the bottoms. Right? Noobs look at the high. Oh, it almost did it. Oh, it almost did it. I look at, okay, higher low. We had a low on a trend line. Now we created a trend line here. Well, that's arguable. It needs to kiss it 3 times. But we're trading in this channel. We had a pop here. We sucked back up. Shows there's violent buyers down here. They're buying like mad. Create a higher low. Create a higher low. Now let's look all the way at the bottom of my chart. Ready? Look at this. MACD on lower time frames. Some people use it. And if it works for you, it works. Some people are RSI traders and they know how to use it right. There's a lot of the indicators on the lower time frames I don't like. I really do not like. So, but take a look at the MACD histogram over here. It's all right over here. We were at 33, then we shot up to 74 the last time we had this set up. And I'm talking about from when it was red, then going green, not from here you know, to here, when it was green prior, I'm talking about it was red and turned green. This could be it. We could run for, you know, when this started, this cycle, this whole cycle over here, this was October all the way at the high to March. That's basically what I'm expecting to be out. That's what I'm expecting to be out of this. I'm expecting to be out almost a good majority of it by March. I'll have a little bit in there. I'll have my initial investment out and I'll have profit out. There will still be some in there. So we've been consolidating for, I'm not going to count it here. I'm going to count over in here. Let's say April. So you're talking about, if it's 10 right now minus 4, that's 6 months. Right? We've been consolidating for 6 months. Now let's zoom out. All right. Then I'm going to get to minors. What is that? If you all don't know what this is, get the diamond mentoring, or literally Google cup and handle on Investopia, or I forget the name of the website. I'm thinking of Cryptopia. Those OG crypto traders, you all remember Cryptopia back in the day, back in 2017, where they had all the crap coins. But look at it respecting the 50 right there on the monthly. Isn't that beautiful right there? Look at it respecting the 200 on the monthly. Why didn't I have my old scripts up? It can be as simple as the 50, the 100, and the 200. It works wonders on higher time frames. We got my trend change script calling it right there. Monthly, it's already triggered. We'll see what happens based off the week. This is like a whole cycle over here where this was run. We're probably going to do this whole thing right here, this whole move, right? And then we tick back up. Now, this time we had a big dip. We're just getting started over here. And this makes complete sense with Bitcoin. We don't tilt this way. Wait, that way. We don't tilt that way. Wait, let me get right in line with the camera. Right, with how Bitcoin, pretend I didn't do that, with how Bitcoin works. You can imagine it like this, guys, with Bitcoin. Before I move on to miners, I'm getting really excited here. I'm happy to what could possibly come, minus the fact that we're about to go into World War III, which would ruin my plans. They couldn't have just already been getting over that now. Everything's at the bottom going into QE with crypto, you know? Imagine if every 4 years, oil, countries that had oil to sell, they're like, no, I'm not going to sell it. We're about to have like a supply crunch. I'm not selling any. Price would go up. Then the sites where they're drilling oil, the output was cut in half. On top of countries not wanting to sell oil, and which would then cause a supply crunch. What would that do to the price of oil? Would it go up or down? It's common sense. This is what happens to Bitcoin every 4 years with the halving. I'm not going to explain it. I have an article on Z-Trade's website under the blogs. If you go to the crypto section, that'll explain what the halving is in detail. And this is what makes Bitcoin move. People are simply only looking at TA. TA does tell a story, which it's backing up what I'm saying is about to happen. Look how clean this 6 months has looked on a monthly chart. Looks totally fine. And everyone on a daily and a 1 hour chart thinks it was the end of the world the whole time. So I want this thing. This is going to shoot well past 75. We're going to go in maybe 80, 90. We'll see. Unless something kicks off with World War III. If energy sites are hit in Iran and Israel and everyone blows each other's ports up to where they can't ship oil out, oil's going to go nuts. CPI is going to come in ridiculous. And all of you who are against fossil fuels, I get why, but you're going to realize we're not there yet. We're far from there, decades. And you'll see how vital fossil fuels are and how horrible everyone's life will get if something like that happens. It doesn't matter if there's war over there and it doesn't come here. I could do a whole video on what would happen. There would then be food shortages. Everything would go haywire. Oil would go 350, 500 a barrel. If that happens, the economy is toasted. The stock market is toasted. Inflation's going to run hot. crypto, silver, gold will go down. No, I'm not selling my crypto either right now. If something like that happens, I'd have to really assess it and analyze it. Mara, let's take a look. If we want to look at this trend line right here, not a trend line, this is resistance right here. We could pop out of this. Let's get off a monthly, go over to a weekly. Looks totally fine. We're going to come into this gap over here. You know what? Let's put volume profile up and take a look at that. Let's go over to a weekly. Looks totally fine to me. We actually filled that little gap right there. Looks fine to me. I'm going to go ahead and remove this again, but we're probably going to come back up into this range, into the 20s. Could be as early as next week, if not right before elections. But we are going to see 34 again, in my opinion. Does it mean it's going to happen? No, but I do believe that, and they've been accumulating Bitcoin. They own Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes up, value of the company goes up, and they're mining it. It's going to go parabolic, shorts cover, and it disconnects from Bitcoin and actually beats it in appreciation. I've been in this for, you guys know, Z-Trades is like the #1 talked about stock, has been Mara for over a year now. And for selling options, it's been fantastic. For averaging down, for holding equity. Wonderful, wonderful for option selling. I couldn't ask for anything better than a chart like this for selling options. Beautiful. Sell covered calls on the pops, sell cash secured puts on the dips, accumulate on the dips, you know. For the rip that's probably going to come, hopefully. Let's take a look at WULF. WULF looks great. WULF looks fantastic. And I really want this to break out. I'm not going to bother drawing any more charts out on this thing. Let's take a look at a weekly and see what we have going on. Let's go to a monthly so you guys can see. Oh, this thing started out right in the crypto having. Interesting. 34 bucks. Interesting. Okay. Let's come over to a weekly again. Yeah. Come on, guys. We've got the 200 right here. We look at my trend change script has called this for a confirmed trend change. So WULF, in my opinion, could, and I mean it could. See, I don't know. I'd have to look into the mechanics of it. How have they diluted it? Warrants. I need to see all that stuff to really make a claim that it's going to see 35 again. There was talks in the group that they are, I haven't fact checked this, that they're using nuclear energy or could be using nuclear energy to mine Bitcoin in the future. But this 200 right here, I really like it. Let's take a look at BTBT, Bit Digital. Bit Digital looks fantastic. You know what? I'm going to switch over here to TrendSpider real quick. Let's move everything over there and get off TOS. Let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, guys, come on. Look at Bit Digital. Let's go ahead and we're going to switch to the linear charts. Yep, there was the halving over here. So this doesn't look like a big move. This is if I'm on linear, right? $1.43 to 33. That's like 28x your money, guys. Look at this. This is going to go nuts. We should easily see 14. We should easily see this range over in here, 19, 20 bucks. Right? I hope there's some people that are keeping an eye on this. Let's go ahead and switch back. Look at this. She's starting to push through as well. I need to have equity on this. 100 shares are only 400 bucks. This could easily see some of these previous highs, like this mid-range over in here, 10, 14, 15, easily in my opinion. Let's take a look at BITF. Look at BITF. Let's switch this chart up here. We are holding. We are holding. We could see 2.5 shortly here, and I'd like us to see the high in February of 388. If we snap this, we could really go. This looks great. This looks fantastic. Let's go to a monthly chart. That's not telling me anything. I'm going to go back over to a daily. Daily looks great. Ran into that EMA up there. And I have the wrong EMAs up for swing trading here anyways, but we'll ignore them. What was the other one I was going to look at? RIOT. RIOT's really starting to go. Let's get off a noob daily and go over to a weekly. Yeah, see, I had this chart and was like, ooh, she is touching that EMA. We want to see what happens here when she comes back up. If it rejects and comes back down, that's going to be interesting to see here. Overall, at some point, they're going to short, and it's going to go parabolic, in my opinion. Easily 20 again. Could even be as high as 30 bucks. And I'm talking about next year, as long as there's no war coming up. We'll see. Let me just draw something here and just see if this fits. Yeah, it's like my other chart. Just like my other chart. Doesn't really fit. Not really. Anyways, let's just take a look at Mara on here with a linear chart and get off a monthly and come over to a weekly. Come over to a daily as well. Wow. Mara looks fantastic. Mara's definitely going to come back over into this zone. I strongly believe. MSTR. Then there's one that's been quiet that nobody's been talking about, which is Square. MSTR is too late. I would not want to be wanting to add up here. I'm already in it. I added, where did I add? Somewhere over in this range. When they announced the split, I got in there. Look at it respecting this EMA right here. Beautiful. Beautiful run up. Let's go ahead and elongate this. That looks a lot cleaner, doesn't it? Let's take a look at the daily. Let's take a look at the monthly as well. Let's look at Square. No one's been talking about Square. Let's get off of a linear chart and let's go to a weekly. Yeah, that failed. That sort of worked out, but wasn't ready yet. You really want to be, with these right in before, when it comes to some of these equities, right around the 170-day mark after the halving. That would be a good add instead of a year prior, unless it's equity or something like that. And there's a big dip, 45 to 85 bucks, wild. But I'd like to see Square do some recovery here. Even, seeing 100 bucks again would be great, which I definitely think it could. Coinbase. Now I had this charted out. That worked. Should have been in 100 shares down here. 32 bucks. It's been 3,200 for 100 shares. That's worth 22,000 right now. You knew that the halving was coming. Coinbase isn't going anywhere. Look at the TA setup on this. The 1, 2, 3 reversal with the retest and the pop to 220. I expect this to be hanging out around these highs where it rejected before. I expect 260. I added at 240 somewhere over in here. Somewhere, I don't know where it was. Somewhere in this range I added at 240, which was a mistake. There was no good technical setup. I added based on time and what I thought it was going to do. I thought it was going to break out and shoot up. It was equity, thank goodness. So what did I do? Nothing. I did nothing but add, and I added at 164. I don't know where. Somewhere over in here at 164. I'm green now on my holding because I went a lot heavier. Little IHS on the RSI down here. But that is a monster candle right there. So that's what I'm watching. Really, what I'm watching for options here is Apple and Amazon leading into earnings. There's one more that isn't crypto related that I need to cover like right now because we're running out of time. It's almost been 30 minutes for a watch list video. I am in IWM. I'm green on that for rate cuts coming. What was I just about to put in? Oh, Hershey's. I don't like the weekly. I did add based on the daily. The weekly does look scary here. Very scary. I want to take a look at this and see what we got going on. We have somewhat of a trend line here. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out. Let me just try to toy with some stuff here. Yeah, I like that. I really like that. So based on the candlestick formation, on the daily, that's why I added Hershey's. We have Halloween coming up. We usually push up every Halloween. Last year we didn't because of cocoa. The price of cocoa was nuts. Let's see if we can find 2022 July. Let's really dive into this. Here's October, September. Yeah, here we go. Low of around 219. We had a high of 240. We had about a $21 run. Didn't work last October because of cocoa, but usually Hershey's goes for Halloween, just like DraftKings goes for Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens here, and I will be releasing some charts on the dollar, the US dollar, and everything midweek. I'll be discussing some other stuff. If you all like this content, make sure to like and follow for more.